So you may have just bought your Nothing Phone 1 and you may be trying to figure out exactly how to use it. So let's go ahead and give a quick breakdown on exactly how to use your brand new Nothing Phone. Now on the front we have a beautiful display. It is an OLED display, so things are going to look great. We do have that front-facing camera on the top left corner and very little bezel. There's no notch, there's no nothing else like that, which is really cool. We do have a flat side on this phone. So looking around the sides, you can see up top, we have a little bit of a microphone grill right there. On the side, on the left side, we have the volume up and down button, which is great. On the bottom, we have the USB Type-C charging cable, as well as one speaker grill and the SIM card eject tool and the area right there. So if you want to go ahead and insert your SIM card, you can go and put it right here on the bottom left corner, that little hole right there. Please do not put it in that hole. That is a microphone. And over here, we do have another speaker grill right there. On the right side, we do have the power button right there, which is great, and that kind of covers it up on these sides and on the front. And on the back, we do have the most interesting back I've ever seen from a phone. We have a glass back, which feels kind of interesting. It definitely, I think maybe because it's completely clear, that's why it feels a little bit different. But these are actually LED lights all across it. So it definitely looks really cool, and that is probably one of the coolest things about this phone that a lot of people like. And that's why some people probably aren't going to put cases on it. And we do have that ultra-wide camera with an LED flash on the side. So on the outside, it's a very interesting phone. I'm actually glad I was able to pick one up in this country because they're not available just outright in America. Now, if you've already set up your phone for the first time, then you should be able to come into the lock screen. If not, you will go through the initial setup, which is very basic. It just tells you to sign into your Google account. Now, one cool thing about our Nothing Phone is that instead of clicking the power button every time we wanted to open up the phone, we can actually just double tap on the display and we can go and power it on. We can also double tap to power it off as well. Maybe not on the lock screen, but when you're off, you can actually, double tap it to power off as well. Now on the lock screen, we have a few different things. Up top, we have the date, we have the time, and we will have all sorts of other notifications we will have right here. In this case, we have one. I have turned off notifications, and I'll show you how to do that. But essentially, this is it. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and if you have a fingerprint sensor or a passcode signed up, you can go and do it from here. But if not, you can swipe up and you can come straight into the phone itself. Now this is pretty much your home screen. This is where every single time you unlock your phone, you'll either come here or you'll come into an application you were in before. So on the home screen, you can go and customize it however you want to, but this is how it's broken down. You'll have the top status bar, you'll have your actual home screen, applications, widgets, and you'll also have the app drawer that you can get into by swiping up from the top. So that is the basic layout. You have your status bar, you can swipe down. You can also swipe down, your notifications will come down over here. So if you're getting Snapchats and Instagram messages and text messages, those things will come right here. So you'll see a bunch of different information here, which is great. Up top though, we will see our, Wi-Fi and our quick toggles. So you can go ahead and, see your mobile data connection if you want to, your Bluetooth, your battery saver, but you can also swipe down once more to get into this little panel. Now this panel is really cool because it's your quick toggle center panel and it has a lot of information built in. So you can have your brightness here, you'll have your mobile phone stuff here, but you can also swipe between these to pretty much go ahead and edit your quick toggles by clicking on this pencil icon down here, and you can go and add more toggles up top if you want to, and it's a really cool thing. Now hopping back out, you can see we have this power button right here. Well, we can go and click on this power button to actually go and power down our phone and restart it. And we can also click on the settings icon to get into our settings. It's a quick toggle, but we'll get into that in a second. Swiping back out, like I mentioned before, you have your home screen. Now you can always go ahead and edit your home screen further if you hold down on an empty spot like this. And you can go and get into your home screen settings by clicking home settings, and you'll come here. So you can enable notification dots, you can add an app to your home screen, you can swipe to all this other information, and I always recommend double tap to turn off display. I prefer that, but I also don't really like app suggestions too much, so you can always turn that off if you want to. Now with gestures, it's a little bit of an interesting thing. If you're coming from a nav bar button, essentially what gestures are this little bar at the bottom. If you want to go back home, you can swipe up and basically drag this gesture up like this and swipe the application out of the way, and that app will pretty much be removed. You can still access it by dragging to the side like this, and you can actually go and bring that application back up. So I'd recommend trying it a few times. Once you do it a few times, you'll pretty much get into it and kind of get a rhythm. Now if you were to go into another application, let's say phone calls, right? You want to go and make a phone call to somebody, which you can do by clicking on that little toggle right there. Well, you can also swipe between multiple different applications. So you can see right here, if I don't want to go and get into multitasking, by dragging and just kind of dragging it back and forth, like, kind of flicking it around, you can basically get into different applications, which is so cool. But you can also swipe up and stop about halfway to get into your multitasking panel. So this will go ahead and show you all the different applications you're using. So this is very basic Android stuff, and it's pretty much like this on every other phone. If you swipe all the way at the end, you'll see a clear all button. I'd recommend clearing out the applications when you're kind of done using them. You don't really have to, but it's one thing I'd probably recommend doing. Now, on top of that, like I mentioned before, if a lot of applications are pretty basic, so you should know like the Google Play Store, Chrome, camera, and all that stuff. But these two are your phone and messaging applications. Chrome is your internet browser, so if you want to go to Google or Facebook, you can access it there. If you want to go and take photos, you can access your camera application here. This thing does have a really cool thing by having that ultra wide sensor, so you can always go through and click on the 0.6, and you can actually get 0.6 zoom, which is cool. You can also zoom in, I think, up to 20x zoom, which you have that capability, which is really cool. And just like before, we can swipe up to get out of it. And Google Play Store is great. This is the pretty much the primary application where you're going to download all your applications and probably, one of the more used applications out there as well. Now, swiping back out of here, if we go and swipe up, you'll pretty much come into your app drawer. Now, this is where all your applications will be. All your applications may not come into your home screen here, but they will always be here for the most part. Now, what we can do here is we want to go ahead and break down a few different applications. So if you ever want to search for an application, you can always click on the search bar in the top left corner. You can always search for something. So if you wanted to search for like Google or something, you can search for Google right here, and you can pretty much find that specific application. So I'm going to go ahead and type it in again, and you'll find the Google app if you want to. Now, you can also drag to the side to pretty much, it's another gesture-based thing. Now, I will go ahead and come into our little settings application. Now, settings is a very, very important application that a majority you'll probably need to use. So here, what you can do is you can go ahead and access your network and internet connection, connected devices, apps, notifications, your glyph interface, which is a custom nothing phone thing. So if we click on glyph interface, you'll basically be able to see these glyph lights on the back. Now, what you can do is you can go ahead and have it to where if you want notification sounds on or, flip to glyph, you can go and turn this on. And what's going to happen is if we go and enable this, you pretty much see that your phone will go ahead and actually enable the sound or disable the sound. So if you go and turn it around, it'll basically be on silent mode. If you turn it back up, it'll be on non-silent mode, which is really cool. In this case, we'll just go and have it off. Going back, you can see a ton of other things for the most part. And this is pretty much like I mentioned before, the little flash LED lights on the back. So you can have them really, really bright, or you can have them not, bright at all. So that is very custom to Nothing Phone. And that is another really, really cool thing. So personally, I like seeing this, and it's a really cool thing that they did. Hopping back out, we have our battery options, our display option as well. So if you want to go ahead and turn on, automatic brightness, which you can enable right here. If you want to enable some screen timeout, if you want to enable your dark theme, you can go into it here. Personally, I like dark theme, but on video, it doesn't really look too great. So I like having that, light theme on. And you can go through here and, kind of customize your colors, swiping back out. One of the more important things I'd recommend doing for every single person who buys a Nothing phone or any phone for the matter is to swipe all the way down past all these things once you're used to it and get into your software update panel within your system option. So what you want to do is you want to go and click on system, which is right here, and right down over here, there should be a system update panel. It's the second one right there. What I would recommend doing is clicking on system update and making sure your phone is on the most recent version of software. If your phone is severely outdated, right now it's a fairly new phone. But if you're buying this phone 2 years from now and you just bought it, this is the first thing I'd recommend doing, making sure you have a phone that is up to date. So just go ahead and update your Nothing phone, and that can pretty much make sure you're in a good situation there as well. Now, just like I taught you before, swiping back home will pretty much get you back home. Now, another thing I will show you for your little lock screen is actually if you want to go and add widgets. So you can always go ahead and hit down on the lock screen and hold it down. You can always go and click widgets right there. And this will go ahead and take you into a little cool thing, which are just the widgets within Android. Now here, there are tons of widgets available. So if you want, you can go and kind of look through here and see which ones you like. Personally, I like the clock widget. I think some of these look really cool, but you can go through and see which ones you like and pretty much add them to your home screen as well. Swiping back up. Another quick thing I'll go and show you is how to screenshot. It's a very, very basic thing. And screenshotting is basically when you want to take as capture or whatever's on your display. And you can do this by holding the power button and the volume down button at the same time, and that'll go and take a screenshot. So that is something I'm pretty sure a lot of you are probably going to end up using as well. On top of that, if you ever want to restart your phone, you can do this by holding the power button and the volume up button, and this will go and quickly get you into this little toggle. So here you can go and power off your phone, restart it, and pretty much go on from there. So that is a quick breakdown on how to use this beautiful phone. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.